Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to join. I'm seeing a few other people are trying to connect to audio, so I'll give them a few minutes. Okay, it looks like we're good. So thank you so much, all of you, for joining us this evening. It's a very unique time for everybody, but especially for college students who are either going to be returning to campus this fall or being completely remote online. Just to introduce myself, I'm Danielle Geeza. I am the Youth Department Chairperson for the OCA Diocese of New York and New Jersey. Very involved with the youth, but I also want to see that those who have graduated are still connected in the church. So I really, truly admire the OCF leaders that we have on the call, and also everybody else in OCF who has the organization up and running, especially in these strange times. So I'm going to pass it off. Then we could jump into it.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
So we're going to start with a prayer, of course. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. O Heavenly King, the comfort of the Spirit of truth, who are everywhere and fillest all things, treasure of blessings, giver of life, come and abide in us, cleanse us from every impurity, and save our souls, O good one. The Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Many years to all. Your Eminence, welcome. Archbishop David is here all the way from Alaska. You're in Alaska, right?
I am in my Chancery office.
In Anchorage, so welcome. I'm just going to say a few words. I'm a big advocate of OCF. A lot of priests have in their bulletin my famous quote that to parents, sending your son or daughter to college and not hooking them up to the OCF is like sending your 5-year-old to play in traffic. I mean, they might not get wounded, but chances are pretty good that their relationship with the church will be wounded without OCF. And so I'm a strong advocate of it. We have this first 40 days thing. It's very important because we have an OCF at Cornell University, and it's primarily graduate students. And having gone through 4 years of college, they've got a great perspective, and they tell me that, when you come to college, who you hook up with is very important. Most professors are busy, most counselors are overwhelmed, and so, you depend on students to show you the ropes. And so if it's students who have no connection to church, no connection to a Christian lifestyle, no connection to a worship service schedule, all those things are going to be lost. Students are going to be imitating their elder students in a lifestyle that will, be like getting hit by a car. So I strongly urge the priests that are here, and I know His Eminence where he stands, the priests who are here and the students who are here, to take OCF seriously, to be a part of it, to support it, to connect at every possible way, at each end, students to that organization. So that's my hope. This gathering today will offer some information to help make that happen, and I'll turn that over to the experts who are here. I'm grateful that they are here. Thank you so much, Andrew and George and Tino, for coming. Danielle, it's all yours.
Great. All right, so before we get started, I know I see several clergy, and Archbishop David, thank you so much for joining as well. But for those who are students, I would love for you just to, introduce yourselves, where you're going to school, if you're home, if you're on campus, and then I'll let Andrew, Tino, and George take it away. So, Catherine, I know you're a incoming freshman, so you go first.
I'm Kathy. I'm currently in a dorm at Pitt. So I don't know, what else should I say?
What are you majoring in, Catherine?
Neuroscience. We'll see how that goes, but that's the plan as of now. And my home parish is Christ the Savior in New York City.
I'll tell you, I love Pittsburgh. I studied there and I took classes at Pitt, so I've got an affinity. Stay close to the church. That's all I got to say.
It is pretty close. It's only like a 10-15 minute walk. I'm excited.
Right. Joshua?
So my name's Josh. I'm going to be at St. Joseph's University in Philly this semester. I'm going to be on campus. As of now, we were doing COVID testings, and we just had our first case, so we'll see, knock on wood, to say a prayer. And I'm going to be double majoring in international relations and in French. And then my home parish is Holy Cross in Medford.
Medford.
And who else do we have?
Lewis.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Lewis. I go to Quinnipiac University in Hamden, Connecticut. I actually transferred in mid last year from Elon University. I'm actually I'm trying to start our own OCF chapter at the school because there isn't one currently. And I have a couple friends from the Metropolis of Boston camp who also go to Quinnipiac. And so we're trying to get the ball rolling on that. I'm a health science studies major. And my home parish, it's actually funny, I go to a St. Nicholas Romanian Orthodox Church in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Maria?
Hi, everyone. My name is Maria. I'm actually all the way in California. So I go to UCLA. My major is European Studies. And my home parish is Belmont Greek Orthodox Church of the Holy Cross. So, yeah.
Welcome. Welcome. Zachary, you're up next. You're Father Peter.
Hi, sorry, we're in the same, Father Peter came to my home for this meeting, and my computer audio is not working for whatever reason. My name is Zachary. I attend SUNY Potsdam in Potsdam, New York. I'm also teaching special education and ABA program for students with autism at Potsdam High School. I did my undergraduate degree in music education, and I'm presently finishing up my graduate degree in special education with a dual certification in both elementary and secondary special education as well. My home parish is St. Olympia's Orthodox Church in Potsdam, New York, with Father Peter here.
Well, thank you. Thank you. All very impressive credentials. So Andrew, Tino, George, if you can introduce yourselves and take it away, that would be wonderful.
Yep. Hey guys, my name is Andrew. I am currently a senior at The Ohio State University studying chemical engineering. And this year I am serving as the chairman of the Student Leadership Board for Orthodox Christian Fellowship. I serve with both George and Tino as part of the board. And my home parish is Holy Trinity Orthodox Church in Parma, Ohio.
Hi, my name is Tino Kayafas, and I am from Wheeling, West Virginia, but I go to school in Morgantown, West Virginia at West Virginia University, and that's where I currently am now. And I am double majoring in entrepreneurship and jazz studies. And I'm going to be the regional student leader in the Mid-Atlantic region.
Hi, everyone. My name is George. I go to school at Wentworth Institute of Technology in Boston, where I'm studying computer science. I'm going to be a sophomore, so my second year. And I'm going to serve as Northeast Regional Leader of OCF, student leader this year.
Thanks, guys. So real quick, I want to talk about a little bit what OCF is, and then I'll share my experience being in OCF. So, and then I'll invite George and Tino to do the same. So OCF is part of the Standing Conference, SCOBA, Standing Conference of Canonical Orthodox Bishops in America. So it's formed by that, and it's the campus ministry for the Orthodox Church, for all the Orthodox churches in America. So it's a pan-Orthodox organization, and we have activities on both on campus at the local level, and then going out from there, we have district level, regional level, and national level. So because of the unique situation that we're in right now, some of you may have difficulty getting to a local event. Some of you may be not even near your communities, or may not feel comfortable going to an event online. So we will be, we've spent the summer kind of reinventing the way we do things, and we're hoping to have a lot of different opportunities for students to interact, whether they're at home or they're on campus. We're trying to open our net to as many people as we can, because we know that these are difficult times and we really want to be there for you guys. So my journey with OCF actually started when I was a junior in high school, and I was at the All-American Conference with Danielle in Atlanta, Georgia. So when I was there, one of my kind of I was in the student program, and one of the leaders, Emma Solak, she told me that I needed to go to OCF when I went to college. And I told her I would, and then I promptly forgot about it. And then I went to college, actually, and I just ran into them at the involvement fair. So it was kind of an interesting turn of events, but I started going, didn't really know a lot of people. It was a really small chapter at the beginning, which is surprising because it's a really big school. But I did make a few friends that were the kind of friends that text you every week saying, hey, are you coming to OCF? Are you going to be there? So shout out to Caroline. She was actually in this position last year, Caroline Retzios. But my journey through OCF has been a really amazing one. While I'm on campus, OCF is kind of like my people. So a lot of times we go to meetings, and then we'll go to the library afterwards, or we'll go over to someone's house or someone's dorm room and study together. We might go to like a weekday service, or because OCF is always your ride to church, and then we'll go grab coffee after church, or maybe during Lent we'll go to one of the weekday services and go get dinner afterwards. So it's really been a good community for me. It's been an amazing community to have on campus, kind of a break from the insanity that is college. And it's really just been a really comforting and supportive thing for me to be a part of. I've also loved going to different events like College Conference, which is a huge, amazing experience. It's usually every winter break, kind of between Christmas and New Year's. And it's just a college is a conference full of young Orthodox people. You meet people, you go to different speakers, you hear amazing talks, pray a bunch of different services, and you just meet a bunch of other amazing Orthodox Christians. So the opportunity to meet people who think like you and who have the same values as you and want to grow in their faith, for me, has been the most amazing part of OCF. And that's what's made me come back. That's what's made me keep coming and getting into more leadership positions. And that's what's made me want to serve as the chairman this year. So it's a little bit of my experience with OCF. Pass it over to Tino now. He can share his experience.
Hi, everyone. Like I said, and like Andrew said, I'm Tino. And I just want to talk to you about my experience. I am going to be a sophomore this year, so I've only really had 1 year to really be involved in OCF. And that kind of started with my chapter in Morgantown. And I'll tell you this, it's not exactly the biggest chapter or the most exciting, but it was definitely very, very important to me and to the people that were in it. And we have meetings every Tuesday or at 8 o'clock. And probably the highlight of my freshman year in OCF was going to college conference, like Andrew mentioned, and meeting all these different kids from all over the country, from all these different jurisdictions, and being able to, share my Greek culture with people and also learn about Russian or Arab cultures at the same time was just like very, very cool, all while, being united by this, faith that's so unbreakable. And so yeah, that was basically probably the highlight of my freshman year, and that itself kind of motivated me to apply for a position on the student leadership board. And so here I am, and I'm the Mid-Atlantic student leader, and basically what I'm going to be doing and what George is going to be doing as a student leader is that we're going to be in touch with our district student leaders within our region, and kind of guiding them on guiding their chapters with, I know it's a lot of tier structure, but it's, we provide them with the resources they need, the help they need to guide these chapters within their districts. And we also set up regional events throughout like the fall and the spring. But, as Andrew said, this year is going to be much different. And that's one thing that we talked about a lot this summer leading up to this school year, is how to adapt to this crazy, crazy situation, and how to thrive in it, not just adapt, but to become stronger through it. And so I think George can kind of talk about the committees that we're on, and kind of the stuff we've been planning on. But yeah, George, do you want to take it over from here?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Yeah, I'm a sophomore like Tino, so my OCF experience hasn't been like very long, but it has been really meaningful. I go to an engineering college where people are really focused on their work, and I feel like OCF provided me with a place where I've made really, really close friends that I was hoping to make within my major or something, which never happened. But I'm really thankful for that. Like I said, I've only been going for a year, so I haven't had a lot of time to meet new people or anything. But that's what serving this year is, I think, going to do, and I'm really excited about that. We're working on a lot of different new projects for OCF that everyone can enjoy. We're doing virtual small groups for people to meet during the fall semester and later spring semester. And we're also writing a guide on how to operate in this weird hybrid online in-person environment that's going to be this fall and the next spring. So thanks, Andrew. Link to the join a small group. That's pretty much it. That's all I have right now.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for sharing. I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the new things that are going to be happening this fall. A little bit different from what we've been doing, but again, we're trying to build things so that wherever you are, it's actually, our program is called OCF Everywhere. So we're trying to build it in such a way that people who are completely in person, completely going to events and doing things like that, and someone who is sitting in their room at home all day can both have very enriching experiences, and one doesn't lose something because of the other. So like George mentioned, we are
Did we lose him?
Hi.
I think I can maybe pick up for him.
Okay.
Yeah, he was basically talking about OCF Everywhere and all the different programs we have going on. George, you can kind of jump in and help me because I forget anything, but we have this thing called OCF Everywhere Chapel. And so I think every other Tuesday in the fall semester, we're actually going to be having like an online Zoom prayer service kind of that has to do with like the time of year. And there's going to be like Paraclesi services, Agathis, and they're going to be led by different people across the country. And it just kind of invites all members of all OCF everywhere to join in on like a Thursday night and join in prayer. George had mentioned the small groups as well. And so I actually got to do one of those this summer. And George was actually in my small group. That's how we've kind of met and become such good friends, even though never spoken face to face. It's really, really cool. Basically every week we'd meet up with me, George, and a few other guys and an OCF alumni. And we would just kind of talk about maybe our day or our week, and then get into orthodoxy, or something that's been bothering us, or a question we might have, or discuss about really anything that has been on our minds. So I don't know, Andrew, I talked about OCF Everywhere Chapel and also the small groups, and you were talking about the stuff we're doing nationally. Could you pick back up on that? You're on mute.
There we go. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Our internet has been really spotty today, so now I'm on my phone. But so you said you mentioned the chapel and the small groups?
Yes.
Cool. So another thing we're doing, this is another thing that we kind of did last year and are kind of polishing up for the fall semester, is we're having, we call them meetings, OCF meetings. So what this kind of means for you guys is we have a speaker, and it's kind of just like if you would have a speaker come and lead a discussion at your chapter. So there'll be a speaker, there'll be someone to kind of facilitate that interaction with you and with the speaker, and you'll be able, so it's set up like a webinar style, but you'll be able to interact with the speaker. You can ask questions via the chat, or if you have a question you want to ask live, you can actually raise your hand and you'll be able to interface live with the speaker. So just trying to bring that same kind of campus connection home to you guys. It's kind of our goal with that. So all this information, actually, I will send, actually, I can't send this in the chat because I'm on my phone, but I'll send it in a follow-up for Danielle. But all this stuff you can find on the website, as well as subscribing to our Instagram, which is OCF Ministry, at OCF Ministry. You can also follow us on Facebook, and you can join your regional page. So, so for regional pages, it'll be OCF Mid-Atlantic region, and you can just search that and then request to join. And the good thing about that is that your regional student leaders will be posting updates in there. So when they're having events, or if there's a something happening locally that you guys should know about, they'll be posting that there. Another cool thing that we're doing this year is we're having a fall virtual retreat. So this is a little bit kind of, it's more of that hybrid sort of thing. So there, again, there's going to be opportunities for you to participate if you are completely at home and don't want to leave your house. And there'll also be opportunities for you to maybe interact with other people who are going to churches or schools locally with you, obviously taking necessary precautions, wearing masks and doing that kind of thing. But kind of the general idea with that is you might meet at a church, or you might just log onto your computer and you will listen to a speaker speak. And then from there, after the speaker speaks, you'll have opportunities to either break out into small groups with the people that you're in person with, or you'll be able to go into a breakout room on Zoom with the other students who are also choosing to do it virtually. And then we'll also have evening activities, just like you would at a normal retreat. There'll be some prayer services streamed, and there will be kind of a social coffee hour after church on Sunday. So it'll be a really fun experience, and again, trying to make it so that wherever you are, you can have fun at OCF and participate this year. So now that we've kind of talked for a little while, do you guys have any questions?
Andrew, where are we gonna be able to find like dates and times for the speaker webinars, all that kind of stuff you just mentioned?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can. Actually, Tino, oh, perfect. Kathy, you beat me to it. Yeah, so it's ocf.net/OCF Everywhere. So OCF Everywhere is kind of the landing page for all the stuff we're doing this semester. And you'll be able to go in there, you can actually register for small groups there. You can see our chapel schedule. That'll be updated within the next couple of days. If you're kind of wondering what an OCF at home meeting or OCF Everywhere meeting would be, you can actually watch some of them from last semester, and then there'll also be stuff being updated there as time goes on.
I have a question. Andrew,
Yeah.
so you have the OCF Nation contact form. So
Yes.
if somebody hasn't signed up, I guess explain the process to me. They submit their information, and then would Tino or the level under Tino be reaching out to the students to get connected? You could just explain.
Yes. Yep. So if you guys have not signed up under OCF Nation yet, please do so. I don't have the link available right now, but I'll try to find that for you guys so we can send it out. If you haven't done that already, if you have done it already, you're totally fine. Don't need to worry about it. But so kind of like Archbishop Michael mentioned, going to college without OCF is like playing in traffic. Well, if you go to college, but you don't go to OCF, that's kind of the same thing. Even if there is but you're not active in it, it's kind of the same thing. So what we do with our first 40 days initiative is that we tried to put all the Orthodox students in contact with a chapter at their school within the first 6 weeks of the time that you're there. So the first 6 weeks of the fall semester, we try to put you in contact with at least someone on campus who is in OCF, or like usually it's the chapter president if there's a chapter. If not, the regional or district student leader reaches out to you and just lets you know that OCF is there and there'll be things happening that way. The reason we do that is because studies show that within the first 6 weeks of school, you make habits that you carry for the rest of your college career. So we want OCF to be something, we want people to have the opportunity to join OCF, and we want OCF to be something that becomes a habit for people so that they can stay connected with the church, stay connected with their faith, get rides to church, and build a community that is going to support them in their faith as they go through college and beyond.
Great. So anybody who has not signed up, I see that Tino, thank you for putting the link in. Just submit your contact information if you haven't already. And question for Tino, George, or Andrew. I know, college conference and real break and all those special fun activities. What is that going to look like going into 2021? Because I'm sure 2020 is kind of shot with that, right?
Not quite. So we're gonna, like everything else this summer or this year, we're doing things a little bit differently, but we're trying to still create those meaningful interactions that you come to expect at OCF events. So with college conference, we did make the decision to postpone it until May of 2020 or 2021. So what usually happens in December of 2020 is now going to be at the end of the school year. And that decision was just made so hopefully we can do something more like what people have come to expect at college conference, because college conference is something that people really look forward to every year, and we're trying to recreate that experience as best we can. However, sometime around the December timeframe, we will have a little bit of a teaser, kind of a sneak peek of what's to come at College Conference in May. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And in terms of Real Break, so what you're used to on Real Break is you might go on a service trip, like for example, to Project Mexico, or you might go on a pilgrimage. For example, one we've done in the past is Jerusalem, Mount Athos, going to some monasteries in either Albania or Romania. So obviously with international travel being the way it is, that's probably not going to be a great option. But one way we're kind of getting around that is to do local Real Break trips with Orthodox outreach organizations that are already in the communities, doing the work of a Christian, and kind of being in that. So like sometimes in the past we've gone to Houston to work with IOCC, so we would be trying to doing something like that, something local. So in this case, the Houston, we try to plan it so that people in the Houston area and the South Texas area can go to that one, and then putting more Real Break trips around the countries, either going and serving with an Orthodox organization, or perhaps maybe going on a pilgrimage to a local Orthodox monastery. So trying to, again, make it so that you can still have those meaningful connections that people usually have at OCF events, but closer to home, not putting people at risk.
Andrew, may I interrupt and offer something for a minute?
Absolutely.
So you gave me an idea. St. Herman Seminary on Kodiak Island is not returning its students to the campus for the fall semester, which means during this Christmas break thing, the campus is wide open, and we can house probably 30 students or so on the campus. If you talk about a pilgrimage and you want to come to the, St. Herman, we would be open to accepting that. Right now in Alaska, the only requirement is if you travel to the state, you've had to have a COVID test within 2 days of your travel. Otherwise, you have to quarantine for 14 days. That's just an idea.
That would actually be an awesome opportunity. Our pilgrimages are usually over spring break, but if it worked out such that we could still have that as an opportunity for people during the spring break time, I would love to make that a possibility.
Yeah, let's see what the spring brings, but as long as we have the ability, yes, I would welcome it.
Awesome, thank you, Vladika. To what extent is it?
We have a question in the chat from Zachary. To what extent is evangelism and outreach to non-Orthodox or non-Christian students a priority of the OCF?
I can answer this if that's okay.
Yeah.
So this was something I was wondering too when I started working with more people in OCF. And honestly, in terms of like what OCF is all about, the focus is creating an environment for Orthodox Christian students to talk, discuss things, and have fellowship and stuff. But that does not at all mean that there is no focus or no consideration to non-Orthodox students. It's just that it hasn't been a huge priority in the past. It's something that we're always looking towards. Obviously, like it's not easy to create and run a program like OCF that is amazing. So it hasn't been like the number one priority, but it is still a priority.
Yeah, and usually that is something that happens more on the local level, just because that's where people are most likely to interact with OCF if they don't go looking for it. So for example, in my chapter at Ohio State, we've actually had a few different people come to encounter Orthodoxy through our chapter. Our priest, our spiritual advisor there, is a convert himself, so he kind of understands that process and is able to lead them through it. And he is actually later on chrismated them at his parish, which is very close to the campus. So happens more on the local level, but definitely, like George mentioned, still a priority for us and something we definitely want to, as we're strengthening ourselves internally, something we definitely want to continue to grow.
Any other questions?
I had a quick question again. So, like I said at the beginning of this, I go to Quinnipiac University, and I'm actually trying to start our very own chapter there. Orthodoxy has given me this kind of basis just to build all of my morals of my life on, and I really want to give that to, or try and give that to everybody on campus who would be open to it. And so, as of right now, I'm in contact with our local parish priest, and I'm trying to talk to the school right now. It's all very complicated because of everything going on. But I just wanted to ask you for any recommendations on just general outreach, especially kind of during this complicated time, because I kind of want to get the ball rolling this semester.
Yeah, so one thing definitely is hopefully there will be other students at your university who have filled out the OCF Nation. Maybe we could get you contacted that way. Also, just word of mouth, finding people is a great way. In terms of actual outreach, so meeting people you don't already know, something that we've done, a few things we've done in the past, obviously you might have to adjust this a little bit for your school specific needs, but we always table at an involvement fair, and that's something we really encourage chapters to do. So I know some schools even have like maybe a virtual involvement fair. So if there's a way that you could be a part of that, I don't know what you might have to have like official status with your university, so that might be difficult. But sometimes it really is just, tabling on campus is a great way to do it. Obviously kind of difficult this year, but something we've really found as impactful is increasing our social media presence. So actually coming up in October is going to be Orthodox Awareness Month. So Orthodox Awareness Month is the time where we try to educate and empower college students to share the faith. So usually what that looks like for us is kind of strengthening our chapters and having our chapters host events and do things that they then share on social media, but also just encourage generally for people to share about OCF and about their Orthodox faith on social media. So one of the first things I would do is create some kind of a social media account, whether that's Twitter or Instagram for your chapter, and just kind of, for you personally, just retweet it, share those things. And like I said, social media, especially right now, is a great way to kind of build your network and get to know people. So anything you can do, and make sure you follow OCF Ministry on your chapter's account, because as you do things and you tag OCF Ministry, they can be reshared to our account. So that's another way that we try to promote the things that our local chapters are doing.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. I've actually kind of been in contact. One of my good friends, George, he goes to school with me there. I've actually opted to stay home this semester and take classes fully virtually, but he's going to be on campus. So, again, we're in contact, and, he'll kind of handle the on-campus involvement fairs if they have them this year. Again, I don't know what my school is doing in terms of all that. But, me here, I live in Massachusetts, so I'm only like 2 hours away from my school. So I was planning on, going down there, helping them out, also visiting the local parish I'm in contact with to kind of get affiliated in communication with them. But yeah, I love all those ideas with social media, especially because, that's going to be a real good outreach program, especially during this time. So thank you, Andrew.
Yep.
I guess we'll just open up Father Peter and Father Andrea and Michelle and Christina. Any questions in terms of, a parental view or a pastoral view of how we can get people involved, or any concerns on your end that maybe Andrew, Tino, and George could provide some insight on what has helped them? No pressure, but just throwing it out there. All right. Looks like that's no. So thank you.
Sorry, I'm not good with the Zoom stuff, so
No worries.
there we go.
Any questions, Michelle?
No, I'm just kind of listening here.
I had a quick question actually. Okay, so when you fill out the form and like give your information and stuff, I got the like right after the email where they're like, oh, we'll like reach out, but I haven't gotten anything after that of like actual information. And then I also reached out to the Instagram of the OCF. They also haven't like nobody's gotten back. So I was just kind of confused on how to like find it, because normally I'd be able to just go to the church, but I think it's probably online or like Zoom calls. So I wasn't sure how to like reach them, or if I just have to wait.
You're at Pitt, right?
Um,
Are you at Pitt, Kathy?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if your information's in that OCF Nation, there will be somebody that's going to reach out to you and like get a hold of you within the next like week. So.
Okay.
Sorry about the
So I'll
wait.
just wait.
If you have any immediate questions, if you have any immediate questions, you can email me at northeaststudent@ocf.net, and I'll get back to you right away.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, maybe if someone who's on a computer can drop all of our emails in the chat, feel free, any of you guys, to reach out to us at any time. We're always happy to answer questions or direct you to the right person. So.
Great. Well, thank you everybody for joining. I'm going to pass it back over to Archbishop Michael and offer you to close with any comments, and also invite Archbishop David if you have anything else that you would like to add. Oh, Lavdika, you're on mute.
Well, thank all of you for being with us and for your guidance and for your leadership in the organization. God bless you in your studies. All of you who are students, you're in my prayers that it's a successful year amidst this coronavirus, that however you're going to be studying, you do it for the glory of God, and that you stay close to his church. You parents, thank you for being here, and you good priest, thank you. Your Eminence, you want to close, and you can say the prayer as well if you have any comments, and then give us the final blessing, okay?
Well, Your Eminence, thank you very much. And Danielle, thank you for sending me the invitation. As the OCA Episcopal Liaison for the Youth Department, I appreciate this opportunity to speak with people. I'm also on the Youth Department for the Assembly of Bishops, and Metropolitan Gregory of the Carpatho-Russian Diocese is always complaining he doesn't get enough information about incoming students. He tries to keep track of it and send out the word to the other bishops and hierarchs so that the OCF chapters can know where our students are. So any help that you guys can be in that, I would appreciate it. As His Eminence said, and I echo his words, there's probably no more important work because no other time of their life are students more influenced by the outside world than they are when they're on a college campus. Parents are no longer around to influence them. Their free will is in full form, and anything can happen. And we've seen far too often it didn't go the right way. So we really need these OCF chapters. We really need to do as much as we can, as often as we can, with people on college campuses. And again, I will extend to any of you. You ever want to come just personally on retreat? We always have room in Kodiak. You can go and pray before the relics of St. Herman. We can take you to Spruce Island for some solace, whatever you want. All you got to do is get yourself up here. We take care of the rest. So that invitation is open to any of you. And so with that, Your Eminence, I will close with prayer. Name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. It is truly meet to bless you, O Theotokos, ever blessed and most pure, and the Mother of our God. more honorable than the cherubim and more glorious beyond compare than the seraphim. Without corruption, you gave birth to God the Word. True Theotokos, we magnify you. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. May Lord God bless you all.
Yiswati Despota. Many years to you. Many years
Thank
to
you.
all of you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Yeah.
I will send out the links that were in the chat, and I also will forward everybody the contact information for George, Tino, and Andrew. So everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and study hard, and also have some fun, and join OCF. All right, take care, everybody.
God bless.
Bye.
Bye.